Well, good afternoon and welcome to Thinking Tuesday, the first Thinking Tuesday of 2024. Good afternoon again, and welcome to Thinking Tuesday, our first Thinking Tuesday of the year 2024. So happy and excited to be here again with you. For those of you who may not have been aware, the last message I gave for Thinking Tuesday in December, I indicated that that would be the last one for the year until January. And then come January, instead of me doing these Facebook Lives weekly, they will be monthly. So this today is the first of your monthly Thinking Tuesday. It's not that the messages are no longer relevant or important. They are still, and they will always be extremely important and relevant. But schedule changes and you have to be flexible. So I want to honor my commitment to always help you to keep in the forefront of your mind how much your thinking and your thoughts are life changing. Because what you think determines how you feel, and how you feel determines what you do, and what you do determines the results you get. So we are designers of our law of our life based on our thoughts. So your thoughts are your lifeline. And that's the message I want to continue to give. So, whether it's monthly or weekly, that is always going to be the message with a few variations in terms of what we speak about. So, I was recently as I have been doing my reflecting for the new year, and I'm not necessarily doing a resolution, but it's always good to be self evaluative. You don't have to wait until the first of the year, but we understand that the first of the year, at least the first month of the year, is usually like the spring. Even though it's cold in some parts, it's the spring. Our spirits become more open to certain thoughts or certain desires or certain things that we want to change. We want to think differently. We want to start the year out differently. But it doesn't mean that you can't do any of these things during the course of the year. And I would encourage you not to wait until the beginning of the year to do those things. They can be done. You decide. You are in control. Okay. So as I was reflecting over my life over the past year, 2023, and what would I like it to look like in 2024, what are the things that I'm going to intentionally do, I came upon this thought again by one of my famous thought leaders from Think and Grow Rich, a study which I'm doing again for about the fourth time, because every time I do that study, I am more aware of some things that I was not aware of in the previous study. So, one of the things that hit me again is that thoughts are things. And sometimes things are so simple that we overlook them or don't even think about them. But a simple phrase, a simple sentence, like thoughts are things, is very, very important for us to look at. Because every single thing that you see, that you engage with, that you have, every single thing that you see in physical form was once a thought. It was once someone's idea. And it might have been an idea in a very primitive stage, and they did what they could then. Alexander Graham Bell, for instance, and the telephone, and all of those inventions that we use today, they keep evolving. The phone, the iPhone, look how many versions of that we have, but look at where it started. So, thoughts are things. All of those physical things that we can think of or see was once an idea. And so it made me think a little bit more about something that I've been aware of before, but there are different levels of awareness. And we can create anything that we want to. What I have been learning and what I want you to really begin to think about is never, never just throw away your ideas or ignore your ideas. You know, ideas might come fleeting, but I've learned that if an idea continues to circle back and come to my mind, then it's trying to get my attention. And the least I can do, and the least you can do when ideas come to mind, is to examine them before deciding what you're going to do. You might decide to discard them, or you might decide to keep them, revisit them, or continue to build on them. So never discard an idea before you examine it, because that's part of your intuition speaking to you. That's part of the universe talking to you. That's your God direction. You're getting directions. You need to be open to those, because we are not just physical beings, we are spiritual beings also. And we live on all of those planes. We live on the emotional plane, we live on the physical plane, and we live on the spiritual plane. Unfortunately, most of the time, for most of us, the physical gets in the way and we don't exercise the spiritual part of us. But ideas are part of that spiritual part of us, so pay attention to them. So today, I'm not going to be long, but I just want to inspire you with a couple thoughts. Those that I just mentioned before, your thoughts are your lifeline. Pay attention to them. You can design your life based on your thoughts. Also, before you discard your thoughts, examine them. And then I want you to think about, what is it that you would like for your life? What would you like your life to look like by the end of this year, let's say? Or, if you want to take little chunks, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 12 months from now, design something in your mind about what you would like to see. What changes would you like to make? Because we're not perfect in all the different levels of our lives, in the spiritual, in the financial, in the health and emotional, in our relationships. We're not perfect in all of those spheres of our lives. So if you should pick one or two, how would you like to improve in those spheres? And the main question is, because we can always talk about how we want to improve, but the main question is, what are you willing to do to make those changes? And even more important than that is, who are you willing to become in order to make sure those changes happen? Because when we want changes to happen, we have to be the change, like Mahatma Gandhi said. We have to be the change, even in our lives, not just outside of our lives. We have to be that change. That means that we have to embrace some things that are difficult for us to do. But you know this already, because I've said it many times, that we don't grow outside of our comfort. We grow outside of our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is where um, we remain comfortable. We don't have to be challenged. We don't have to make any changes. But that's not where we want to stay, because your comfort zone can be comfortable but deadly because it does not help you to change. So, what I want to leave you with today, I want to leave you with a challenge that you decide a word. A word. Come up with a word if you haven't already, because I know some of you are already into this, but come up with a word that you would like to adopt. A word that's meaningful to you, that is going to push you forward and help you to move the needle towards who you would like to be, the type of life you would like to have. And I'll share my word with you. My word is application. I am looking at, how do I apply the knowledge that I am gaining? We can go to a conference, we can read a book, we can go to some event and hear someone or read something that's very inspirational, and we love it and we think, "Ooh, that sounds really good." Yeah, it sounds good. But how are we using this information? One of my mentors, John Maxwell, who trained me as a coach, said that whenever he goes to a conference, any type of event, and he learns something, one of the first things he's going to do is try to find a way to apply that. And so, application is what really moves us towards our goal. Just reading something, listening to someone, and thinking it sounds good and feeling good about it and not doing anything with it doesn't help you to grow. So, my challenge for myself is using the word application to guide me this year because I have many, many goals. Many goals. Some of them are very stretching. They're going to stretch me. And some of it will be scary, but I know that if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not worth living. Because if you dream too small, you just might hit the mark, but then you won't grow. If you allow yourself to grow, if you allow your dreams to stretch you, then you grow as you are moving towards attaining that dream. So the dream is important, but the path and the growth that you are experiencing while you're moving towards that is really the key. And oftentimes we miss that. So, what is your word? What is your word? For some of you, it might be action. Some of you, it might be, what would it be? Reflection. Some of you, it might be bold. You want to take bold steps. What word has a meaning for you that will resonate with you to allow you to examine yourself, look at your behavior, and see whether or not you're applying that word to move you? Okay. I know I love the word bold, and it doesn't mean that because you choose this word today or this year that you can't continue. Because I love the word bold, and I try to take bold steps, you know, but I am looking at, particularly in addition to bold and some others, I am looking at application. How am I applying what I learn? And a lot of what I talk about here on Thinking Tuesday is not just some theoretical thing, but I am applying them also to my life. I am applying them with my clients when I coach them. And I see the results. I see the results. I see the transformation. They see the results. They see the transformation. So I leave you with that today. And it's been a pleasure speaking with you, meeting with you. I missed you while we weren't doing this, but I'm committed to continue with this. And I will still subscribe to our Thinking Tuesday motto, which is your mind is a garden and your thoughts are the seeds. And you can choose to grow flowers or you can grow weeds. And I'm sure you don't want to grow weeds, even though sometimes they camouflage as flowers. But remember that your thoughts are life changing. Your thoughts are your lifeline. And as you think, so you feel. As you feel, so you do. And as you do, there you have your results. So you are responsible. You are responsible for designing your life. You are in such control and you are fully resourced. The last thing I'm going to say about this idea that I told you not to throw away. If you have an idea, and I've learned this, if you had an idea, it didn't come to you by happenstance. If you have the idea, it means that you are fully equipped to execute that idea in some form or the other. It might not happen all at once, but it might come in stages. So give yourself grace if you have an idea and things don't work out right away, but examine your idea, come up with that word that's going to help push you in the direction that you want to go. So take care. I want to remind you to go to my website, www.drcherylburton.com, and view the programs and services that I have. Feel free to contact me for a complimentary, confidential consultation. If there's something on your mind and you need a thinking partner, or if there's something that you would like to explore further, please feel free. If you're looking for a speaker for some event, or you know someone or an organization who is, feel free to also reach out to me on my website. Again, that is www.drcherylburton.com. This message, as well as all of my previous Thinking Tuesday messages, are stored on my YouTube channel, Thinking Tuesday, Cheryl Burton. Feel free to go there and revisit any of them, share them with your friends. If you feel that this has been of value to you, please share it with a friend. And I look forward to seeing you next month, February, which is only a few short weeks from here, when I will bring you another Thinking Tuesday message. If there is something that you would like me to expound more about on Thinking Tuesday, feel free to share it with me. I'm glad to research or talk more about something that's of interest to you. So take care, have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you again next month of February, for Thinking Tuesday. Take care and bye for now.